Hey everyone, welcome to Damai Scaling YouTube channel. Your host Eddie Wang as always, and today this video is going to be questions and answers because I asked you to post your questions you have related this Jin in Tekken 8, and today I'm going to answer them. So the first one is going from Dre Gaming Network. Andre asked if coming from Tekken 7 Jin, is this Jin your cup of tea? If you feel like Dre, if you are asking yourself if this Jin is your cup of tea, I can totally say that is yes, this is everyone's Jin's cup of tea. One of the main and biggest reasons why it was so hard in Tekken 7, it was because of precision. And you have to be precise with everything. You land a counter hit combo, you need to be precise with. For example, this you needed to be precise to do combos with. Now you can really just do this, and you're still going to get decent damage. So precision is not key with Jin in Tekken 8. So if you don't have, for example, precision to do electrics and counter hits 4-4, then even the regular hook fist is not required precision. This is just a regular hook fist, as you guys can see. It doesn't require precision, and it's not only that as well. For example, if I enter hit engager, you can actually buffer electrics. I can do this. The timing is just weird. It's in between, see? So you can just really buffer electrics out of hit engagers. For example, if I set on hit dashes as well, with hit dashes as well, you can also buffer. See? It scales a lot, but it's something that this Jin has. For example, when you enter hit engager, you can do 4-4-3, for example, without actually give away the animation of the move. Same can be made for hell sweeps or for electrics. See? I got the timing down. So precision is not key for Jin in this game. It's not either for Kazuya as well, because Jin is pretty much a different version of Kazuya that does the exact same thing. He can do electrics and still launch it without just frames. He can do 4-4 combos without just frames, which he always did. It was just a nerf in season 3, and his omen is really just crazy. So that's the first. I'm gonna try to be a little bit shorter in the answers as well. So here is one. What is your opinion in the best change they made to our boy, and what is the worst? This is Ryan Haas. Well, Ryan, the best change in my opinion was to give back what it lost. So I don't have a particular one. If I had to choose one, it would be in between his pokes now having standard range. This is probably huge. This is going to be huge factor down the game, and this as well, because this buffs even his punishing game is now a lot better, right? So I don't have a particular specific change that I think I am very comfortable with. This one is amazing. The range of the limbs is amazing, and having back forward 4 and standing 4 and counter hit, even if it is not entirely a full combo, but it's still there and still does something great with. I think this is the best changes of Jin as well. Some would say Oki or Kizeme, so it's really a hard pick. So I would say the limbs are great, so his neutral is definitely stronger. This is probably not a question that you expected to be asked, but how do you feel about returning to Tekken 7 Jin for God knows how long before Tekken 8 comes out? Well, here is one question you don't see every day. I think in Tekken 7 Jin Season 4 at least, it's very frustrating. If you play online, it's very annoying to play Jin because it's very hard to confirm counter hit 4-4. Standing 4 launches off axis, you have to be just frame all the time to do electrics, which I don't complain about the electrics, but having to just frame everything isn't really the way to go. It doesn't have a low launcher anymore that hits on counter hit, so it's really, the character is there. If someone wants to revisit, I think it's still going to be good, but since this Jin was rearranged a lot in commands, for example, CDS is now a different command, Zen as well. A lot of things changes. It now has Samsara. So it's kind of difficult to go back to the old Jin and re-imprint that moveset when you are already so accustomed to this one. So this can make a huge difference as well. This was Winchester. So another question. This is Therion the Human. Does he have any option out of crouch dash to stop quick lows from blowing him up? I feel like while even on hit, down forward 2 into crouch dash wasn't scary at all. Nothing seems to beat lows from interrupting. Oh well, this move is a move to mix up on hit, not on block. On block you're gonna have to keep your distance because you want to check with 4-4-4 in that space. At least that is what it appears to be in Tekken 8. But Jin, you can do wall standing 3 or wall standing 4. I think those options are going to beat lows, and you can even do this from 4-4 as well. I think wall standing 4, and of course you can do CD1 as well, but it's risky. So if you want to keep safe, keep to wall standing 4. I think this mid is actually going to be annoying, but you can check. This is now an easy mode forward 4 that leads to electrics, as you guys can see, and you can hit confirm this into hell sweep. So it's there, it's really just easy. So I hope you guys got the idea. So wall standing 4 is what is going to use to beat lows on hit, not on block. How did down 2 feel reaction wise? Seeable, hard to say, unseeable. This is the edge. Well, Mr. D Edge, this move is definitely reactable. I think this is within the reactable threshold of Heihachi's down back 2. So if you are really high level player, you are going to react to that, and this, it easily gives off the flash, right? The animation is very different from this one, and the hell sweep still gives away as well. So in general, this is I-22, I-23. It's very similar to this and this, so it's kind of I-22 to I-23, I-24 more or less. So it's really definitely reactable. If you can react to Jin's 443, then you can react to this. I think this low is actually much faster in relating to this one. So this low of Jin is just because it comes out of Zen, so it gives off, right? But overall, it's definitely faster animation wise than this one. So this is Chris0. How do you feel about replacing Spine Cracker and Swaying Willow with new animations from Zen 1-2 and Zen 2? Well, Spine Cracker used to be this one, right? Which is now Brimstone Bite. I think the animation looks cool. At least I don't complain. And also it's far more useful because the Spine Cracker used to have very short range in the last hit and made his combos look weird and really inconsistent. So the change is a welcome. It's why I asked you before if you are looking for an aesthetic perspective or from a gameplay perspective. While things might look good on screen in a fighting game, having utility for such thing is actually what matters the most. So I think this move is a welcoming change, and while Zen 2 was also great, it was also a bad move that didn't really sidestep it as much as it needed us to sidestep to. So having a power crash instead, it's a great change and a welcome change as well. The move wasn't really that beautiful in my opinion, so this one fiendish claw seems to be much better at doing its job, and it's also safe. And let's not forget that the entire Jin Zen and Zan, now is not CDS anymore, now it's called Zan instead of CDS, were both redesigned, right? Does Jin has any micro dash combos? This is George Ross. Well, George, he does, and he does. And there are levels of micro dash as well, like in Tekken 7, where the old micro dash combo that we used to do used to be the extreme, right? Which is why it gained the name of $100 combos. Well, now that is level 1 here. That's easy. You can do this micro dash, and it's always going to connect even if you do it badly. But Jin has indeed some ways to do micro dash that are much harder overall than doing the regular micro dash. So there is this version of Jin of micro dashes that are quite harder that you can use to do in combos, for example from double electrics, which I have already presented you earlier in the last weekend, that you can do double electrics into back 3 forward. That requires micro dash and it's extremely hard to do. There is also 214 into ECD1. So 214 counter hit, 214 into ECD1 launches mid screen, but it's extremely hard to do when it requires very quick, fast and proper micro dash in order to do it. So it has levels of execution to micro dashes as well. So the technical aspect of Jin is really just, it's seamless. So there is some situations where you can access it on your own, and there is some situations where you can choose to not access it. So is that one a safe move? This one is from Flicker 3626. Well, this move doesn't feel safe at all. I believe it's around -12, -13, or at least -10. But it is true that this move doesn't feel safe. I believe I was punished once for trying to use it in overall, and it was really when I noticed that this move isn't exactly safe. But you can use power stance. Power stance is safe. No one can punish power stance if you really want to space out in certain situations without taking much damage. But the thing is, power stance doesn't do damage, but there are situations where they are worth it. For example, when your 443 is guarded, you can power stance. If your opponent tries to interrupt you with a jab, then you are going to gain position immediately. So it's a really great change that they gave to Jin. You don't lose damage, the opponent doesn't lose damage, but you gain your position back. So this move, power stance, is going to be used a lot when you are minus, in order to bait out some characters to not press buttons to take advantage of you. So it's one of the things that Jin has. So another question that was in the comments, I can't remember who asked, and it was, did I cancel Zen in order to perform a throw? No, I didn't, because this Jin can perform a command grab from Zen. So it is something relatively new to him. So every single time you enter Zen, you can actually grab anyone in this game. So you can do this, you can do this. So that's a throw, and if they are trying to interrupt it, you can then use this move, which I'm not sure if it's safe. I'm not finding matches to find out. So there are these things still there in the game, but yes, Jin can actually grab from Zen. He can grab from CDS as well. If you have, there it goes. He can grab from stances now to open people that usually blocks a lot for Jin, but Tekken is really just press 2 And he still has Samsara as well, right? Samsara is godlike. And that's it. And the answers are right here. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys on the next one.